I'm Peter DiMuro, and I'm by day I do a couple of things, and one of which is that I make art, and under the title of Public Displays of Motion. But I have another job, which is to run the dance complex in Central Square, Cambridge, and I've been back in Boston after a 20-year vacation from. That's great. That's beautiful. Yeah, it was like 2 side to side, 1 flipping, and 1 turning. When I met Nino this year, I was drawn to this idea of what he did in his own autobiographical flamenco solo. It was like postmodern flamenco, for such a thing, and he performed on our stage at the dance complex. And I said, we have to work together somehow. And then out of another corner of my past is a wonderful artist named Elver Ariza Silva. Elver was born in Colombia and was born as a child with polio. And he's now an adult survivor, and he's an advocate for the arts. You can look him up online. He's doing amazing work in Washington, D.C. So I knew that these 2 men who both spoke Spanish, and I don't, would come together and make some kind of work happen. Yeah.
Yeah. From where? Yo soy de Zaragoza. ¿Zaragoza? Sí, Zaragoza. Zaragoza, con Z. Zaragoza, no, Zaragoza.
Then I called Ann and Ann. We go way back. We started by working through some jazz phrases that Ann found on videotape from an old piece of mine, and she said, "Did you remember doing all this stuff?" So we just deconstructed that and reconstructed that, and what you saw is a little bit of the beginnings of that. And the idea for the title of this program, as well as just, I think, the thrust of my next body of work, is about how people have innately in them the movement to make dances that is much more interesting than anything that we can craft and study in the studio. Guru's Bollywood background. You know, he started at school with his brother in his teens, for God's sakes, teaching other kids Bollywood, and then moved to the States and works in IT. And it's like, wow, we have a treasure right here. Let's take advantage of his knowledge and bring it together, with still respecting his past.
Worry, Materi Badakun. Innurali, Pandri Sodakun, Vai Pavapad.
Quite how to go about it, because it was like the Ann installation before. You just needed to stop and not move. And so I would sit in the studio and not move. And Ryan was about the age I was when we made that happen. After the film, I began to run quite a bit. And at the end of the running, I say things to David that I had never said to him up to that point.